Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers. Welcome on the 30th of May 2023 to our little free tutorial here to make charming Mr. Mole. Well, he's actually busy Mr. Mole, because as you can see he's got his apron on, he's got his mop and bucket out, and he's been scrubbing the spring remainders away, and hoping that lots and lots of sunshine will help him celebrate the summer as he cleans everything up nice and tidily. Now, I'm just going to check who's here today with me, because I want to know whether you can hear me all loud and clear, and just checking in who is there with me. So just bear with me, let's have a look. So we have got Ellie is there. Hi Ellie, and Elaine, and just a few people here today, so maybe we'll wait for others to catch up. Some of you haven't made yourselves known, so that's quite all right, but yeah, give us a shout out if you're there and if you can hear me, most of all. Jane is there. Hi Jane, and Carol has just joined us as Flora Fauna Faye Felt, and I haven't seen Colette there yet, but I'm sure she's lingering somewhere. Lorna is there, hello, and Mel, and Hayes, loud and clear and standing by. Excellent. Thank you very much, Hayes. That helps a lot just to get, oh, Michael is there as well, to get the confidence to go now. So, for those of you who don't know, we are 8 years old in June. So the Makers was formed in 2015 as a tiny little seed, and it's grown. And all the while, whilst we've been trying to grow, we've had lots of things chucked at us, and we had to come out of it again. And I'm delighted to say that in 2023, the Makers are heading in the full right direction, and I'm very proud to be at the head of it with a fantastic team right behind me. So that needed to be said, and we do have gone through thick and thin together, as all of you have. I mean, the pandemic, we've had all kinds of other things, financial crises, left, right and centre, and we've also had a management changeover, so it's been a challenging time. By no means a time where I can sit there and count my pennies in the bank, because there aren't any, but we will get there. I'm an eternal optimist, so thank you very much for being by our side. And that leads me on to saying it is only for 48 hours, so if you're watching this any time in the future, don't get excited, but we have got a 50% discount code going live right now on our website, so you can do shopping. And the code is WeAre8. I'm not even going to show you how it's written or anything like this, because it doesn't need to stay there in the future, but it's basically all in capital letters, the letters W, W, E, the letters R, A, R, E, and then the number 8. All in one sentence, and no gaps in between. That's what I'm trying to say. And the only one that is a number is the number 8 at the very end, because we are 8, and it's only one discount code per person. So spend your money wisely, and pick well, because you won't be able to use it twice. And it's also, there are some exclusions that apply. It's the usual one, definitely the license kit. So I'm really sorry if you thought you get your teddy kit half price or Shaun the Sheep. It's not going to happen. I do apologize. And there are some other things that are excluded from it too, including our brand new pouches, felt tool pouches that come filled with tools. These are not included in the sale. So really sorry, but yeah, there's loads of other stuff. It's like way, lots and lots. So let's have a look what's inside our mole kit. You can see him here at the back. That's the kit. Another mole standing by, and this is what you find in your mole kit. So you have obviously not the mole. He's just having a quick look. Everything's there and correct. Yeah. He's got a sniff because he's very short-sighted. However, he has got his glasses, so he can see marginally. So you get in your mole kit, you get obviously our wool butts to make the mole. That's very essential. This is ethically sourced wool. It's 100% wool. In fact, it's New Zealand merino. And then you get your full step-by-step instructions with, as you know, we always have a tape measure on every single page on the left-hand side because we work in centimeters. You do get, let's start at the top here, you do get the wire to make Mr. Mole's glasses, which I will show you how to do that. Then you also get a piece of felt that will become Mr. Mole's apron. You can decorate that however you like. So I show you some tips and tricks on how to do that. And then you get your little glue and eyes here, tiny, because he's only got tiny, slightly short-sighted eyes. And then you also get the accessory, which is namely a little resin bucket on a metal handle and a mop, which is bamboo skewer or stick or whatever you want to call it, with cotton at the end. Perfect for mopping all the dirt away, and Mr. Mole is showing these off brilliantly here as he's holding on to them. Right, so you also get your felting needles in there, and you also get a little eco wool mat, which there's the felting needles, so you get your felting needles in there, and you get your eco wool mat to use as a base when you rest your work on it. Now I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to use my earth-friendly felting mat covered with a felt sheet, brand new fresh felt sheet, so we can make it messy with the wool that I'm felting and using for felting. And I'm also going to use my own needles. What I am, however, doing, I'm going to load up my little case here with the right needles to use, and the right needles to use are a 36 and a 38, which makes it a coarse and a medium needle. So I've got my coarse and my medium needle there, and then I'm also going to load up my little magnetic needle case with the eyes, because these are the ones that we need to keep extra safe. Now this little needle case doesn't come in the kit, but it's brand new in our shop, and I love this because nothing falls down. Look, perfect. So you know where the eyes are, you know your needles are safe, and I'm going to put these here at the ready for when I need to grab them. Now, let's have a look at the instructions. So if you have the kit, then you will know that you get instructions on the back of it. You can also just buy the PDF. They are included in the sale. And then you might have to stash yourself at home the wool, namely to make Mr. Mole. All of our instructions are step-by-step written words with photographic reference points, so we don't leave you hanging, and they're quite extensive. We'll rather tell you things that you think, oh, I knew that, than not tell you, because some of you might say, oh, I don't actually know what they're on about. Because if this is your first time kit, it is a brilliant beginner kit. You will love it, that we have been thinking of everything and have been very detailed. So I'm going to start straight off with making a shape, but before I do that, I'm going to check in with everybody. Have you ever seen a mole? Have any of you ever seen a mole, like for real, in your garden or in somebody else's garden? Let's have a look who else has joined us. Alison is there, Katerina, Rose, Sandy, Dawn, Caroline. Thank you, Mel. She says happy birthday to the makers. Gina is there. The live wouldn't load but found you at last. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did. Kay is there. Linda, evening, Steffi and everyone. Hope everyone is fine. Yeah, we're all, well, I'm fine. Don't know about anybody else. Harry, grab a birthday bargain. You can never have too much fluff and stuff. Ah, that was almost very poetic, Carol. Well done. Sherry says hello from a beautiful sunny Tennessee. And then we have got replies. Oh, Diane has just joined. You haven't missed anything, Diane. Don't worry. And Katrina says she loves the needle case. I love the needle case as well. Yes, great place to rest your eyes. That is a famous thing I did a while ago, and nobody knew what I was talking about. I said I rest my eyes on it. And I think the images that went through people's head were slightly different from what I had in mind. Like, maybe not. I rest the eyes of Mr. Mole on it. Thank you, Diane. She confirms the very detailed instructions. Maureen is there from Canada. Oh, Kay says she hasn't seen a mole, but lots of molehills. Well, guess what? Where there are molehills, there are moles. It's 100% for sure. Oh, Katrina says she saw a mole going along the edge of a road. Well, that's very dangerous. I've seen plenty of moles, and they're usually found busy digging up my garden. I know. No, never seen a mole, but plenty of the hills, says Lorna. We have had them in our lawn, says Hayes. Yes, we used to have moles in our garden in South Africa. Oh, they dug all the way through the ground under the sea to South Africa. I love it. Right, okay, so I've seen a mole not so long ago. It was like really busy digging away, and I was standing there. Do you know I'm here? No, he didn't know at all. So I went a little bit closer. He was digging away, and they've got these ginormous big diggers for paws, and he was just like had a little bit of soil on the top of his nose, just digging away. And I stepped a little bit closer, and he went like, huh? Oh. And then he's like down the mole hole with his bottom up in the air. It was just too delightful. I really, really wanted to film it, but I don't know about you. Whenever I get my phone out with a camera, I either get so excited that I can't remember how to get to my camera, or I get to my camera and video, but actually I'm not videoing. I think I'm videoing, and then when I think I've finished videoing but trying to switch it off, that's when I actually start videoing. It happens every time. So now I've decided every time something exciting happens, I won't even bother. I just make sure I memorize it as much as I can by looking with my eyes, and then I can retell the story. So I can't show you any photographic evidence, but I promise you it was a wonderful and delightful moment. Okay, so let's start up with Mr. Mole. I'm going to take some of this. We actually call this wool mole black because it's not quite black and it's not brown. It's just literally mole brown. So in the instructions it says split the brown black wool into 1/3 and 2/3. Now I'm going to do a little bit less. I'm going to take a good pinch off. That's what I'm doing, and then I'm going to split it into 1/3 and 2/3. The reason is that I'm not going to have time to felt Mr. Mole down quite so much. So I make him, if I use all of the wool, I will make him too big without having the time to felt him down. So I'm using a little bit less, but you can follow the instructions. Look, he's looking. He's very interested. Oh, what's going on here? So I'm taking the larger quantity, and now I'm going to roll the wool strand in from one end. So when we say roll up the wool, we don't mean that. We actually mean wind it up from one end to the other end. And you, as you get to the other, if you're trying to get to the other end, I'm going to tuck it out, pull it out a little bit longer. And then you tuck the sides in as you go, because you want to make quite a short, stubby little figure. So when you get to the end, you've got these wispy ends here, and if I now let go of it, it would just sort of pop open. Then you take your coarse needle and you stab these wispy ends right into the shape so that your shape is now secure. It doesn't pop open anymore, okay? It's not very shapely, but it's not gonna pop open anymore. Now, this is the shape I'm aiming for, this blue lined, outlined one. This is what I've got at the moment. So I've got to do quite a lot of needle felting. So remember, wherever you stab the needle is where the condensing takes place. So at the moment, if this was clay and you wouldn't think about it twice, you'd just go like this, right? And that's exactly the 2 points where I push the wool is where I need to stab my needle. So I'm going to stab my needle in from one short end. Stab, 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 stab. Straight in and out goes the needle. That's the rule with needle felting, straight in and out. You can come from different directions as long as the needle goes in and out in the same way, in the same way, full stop. And I'm going to do that from the other side as well, to stab the wool down a little bit more. Now, if you start smaller, so if you are also going against the instructions and you decide, actually now I've gone to a little bit too small, you can always pick up a little bit of wool and wrap it around the outside to make the shape bigger. So we try and be as precise in our instructions. Everybody felts differently. We always work on the basis that you've all felt down very solid. You felt everything down very solidly. So we have to put enough wool in there for those of you who have got, who really like stabbing their wool very, very firmly. But if you're somebody who you don't stab wool that firmly, then just take a little bit less and build up more if need be. The quantities are guidelines only, and guess what? Every mold will look like slightly different. So I've made this one here, and I also made this one here, and they have very different proportions. So it's just one of those things. They just turn out differently. On different days they turn out differently. You don't make eat any mold exactly the same. It's well, you can if you try really hard, but you will find differences. It's just like people, never quite the same. So I'm going to check my shape against what I've got here now. So what I'm finding is that I actually probably shortchanged the body shape a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of wool, just a little bit, and I'm going to wrap it around the shape to fatten it up a bit. And then I've probably got my perfect shape. I just need to stab it in. So stab it in a little more. So when you're needle felting, you always have to make sure you turn your shape. Don't stab just from one direction, because you will flatten it. And if you only turn this shape by 90 degrees, you end up with a brick. So you end up with 4 straight sides. So you have to really turn the shape so you catch every single little bit of surface and stab it down. Now one end needs to be really flat, because I'm going to sit Mr. Mole down on that end. Yeah, it's fine, it's done, he stands fine. And then this part here, it doesn't matter if it's very unshapely, because that's exactly what we want. And now I'm quite happy with that shape. It fits my template nicely, and I'm going to move on to the head. Okay. So for the head, in theory, I would take the 1/3, the smaller amount, but in practice, I'm actually going to take a little bit less. Again, I can build up the shape if I need to, and you also take a little bit off of that 1/3, which I don't need to do now, and then you flatten it into a sheet of about 8 by 12 centimeters. Haha! So I have got somewhere, yes, I have got one of these now. So you can use the instructions, because you've got the tape measure here, but this is one of our new tools, and it's perfect, because it's really handy to have. That is about oh my goodness, my eyesight is getting worse and worse. Terrible. I'm really bad at reading this. Oh yes, here we go. Now I can see. I think that's about, yes, it is about 15 centimeters, and it's slightly, well, it's good enough. This is good enough for what I need to do. And now you're going to fold this in half. Let's get back to the page. So you're going to fold it in half like this. Well, let's fold it this way, so we've got the edge at the top. And then you're going to fold it in from the side, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you get a nice pointy bit, so you're already slightly manipulating that shape. It looks quite sausage-like, but that's going to be the snout of Mr. Mole, and then you stab that firmly into shape. So you want to concentrate your needle stabs right at the very end of Mr. Mole's nose. We're going to colour that in pink in a minute. I'm really just interested in making that shape happen here, so that I've got a long snout, and then the head is the bit. We take some of this off in a minute, but that is all I want to do. So the rest I'm leaving unfelted at the moment. I'm just concentrating really, really here on that very end of Mr. Mole's nose, and that needs to be firmly felted, because we're going to do quite a lot with that. We have to put the eyes in, we've got to add the pink for the little pink nose. So I'm actually going all the way through and through. You can see I'm going all the way into the mat underneath, and making sure that that is a nice firm shape. You can change to your medium needle if you want to just make it a little bit firmer with less deep stabbing. It just refines the shape a little bit more. And then, wait for it, we have got a template. And that is the shape that you're aiming for. So that doesn't look too bad either. And I'm going to stick with that. So I've got quite a lot of wispy ends, which I'm going to take some off. The idea is that you now open up these wispy ends here, okay, like that. So you've got a nice little fluffy base here. And that base, that way around, is now going onto my shape. So when you stroke it flat against the shape, it looks like he's got a really long face at the moment, but you're going to start fastening this on, and this will get quite attached to the body. So use your coarse felting needle and stab the wool on just around the edges first. By the way, black wool on screen and on photos is always very hard to demo on, because the black kind of looks all the same. There's not much variation, so I do apologize if that is the case here. But basically, if you have got the instructions, then go by the shapes in the instructions. And I know this looks too long because I'm trying to make it fit that. So what I need to do now is shrink this part like that. That's what I need to do. And you can see there's a lot of air in there, and I can easily shrink that. And the way to do that is to stab into the area that you imagine is going to be the sort of the area where the eyes are going to be, like a forehead. And yeah. So that will make that nice curve happen here. And you can also fasten it on more underneath. So once you've got the head shape on, then you can work more on the sculpting of Mr. Mole's face and nose. And going along the shape will make it shorter, but at the same time it will also make it firmer. Rather than stabbing into it at a right angle, that will just flatten it. So I want to maintain that round shape. So I'm going into it at a shallow angle. So I'm going into it that way. It's better, you can see it better that way. But obviously I'm lying it down so I can get a better grip going into it from the direction that I'm felting. And all the while you will probably sort of go around the whole mole shape. And if that shape is not fitting the template, I think my mole is very short, then you can add more wool. I've got all of this wool still, so add more wool. Just this is the lovely thing about needle felting. You really have got the opportunity to put it right all the time. What I would say is always start out with less than what, if you're not sure, always start out with less and add more if you need to. Because there's no point using up all of the wool and then you realize that you've made him slightly too portly. Not there's anything wrong with slightly too portly moles, but he's much better at cleaning. If he's a little bit smaller, he can get into the little corners and areas much better. So we want to keep him a little bit on the lighter side. So finishing off the top of his head, because that's quite soft and unfelted, you can feel how the shape is changing. It's really lovely. That's one of sort of the, I want to say, the therapeutic things about needle felting is that you can, it is so tactile and things happen literally in front of your eyes. It's almost like magic that is unfolding. Right, so there we go. That looks not a bad shape, little shape for Mr. Mole. Let's have a look at some of you there. There we go. That's the shape he is now. That's the shape of the original one. So I think we're getting there. Yes, nearly there. You meet your little friend, your little helper, because they can both be cleaning and doing stuff. Oh, that's sticking into the camera. So what's in the felt tool pouch? Some of you have got it already. Little scissors. I shall put them to the test in a minute because we need to do some cutting. The tape measure I've already shown you. There is a small earth-friendly felting mat in there, which is a 10 by 10 centimeter, which we don't normally sell, so you'll get that exclusive. And of course you get, ta-da, one of these in there. I think that it's a different color. Loaded up with needles. Well, there's needles in there, that's the rattling. There is also a little mini tool in there, like a mini ruler, which is very handy and useful, and our little multi-tool that you can use for pliers. I'm sure there's something else, but I've forgotten what that is now. Right, let's have a look at everybody's chatting. So we have, who is talking to us here? So hang on a second, what have I done? Yes, I'm always doing that with my phone. Oh yes, okay, so this is me not being very clever when I need to video something. I have done it with my daughter's competition. I was not very popular, just sort of videoing her feet after she finished. Sam just said, hi Steffi, just placed another large order and I'm still trying to catch up with the others, but who can resist 50% off? And you now got a felting buddy. Just give it all to your husband, he'll sort it out. I loved what he did. Diane says, yes, I'm always doing that with my phone. That's the video. I think it's a generational thing, to be honest. My children never do that. Are they listed as felt pouches, I wonder? So the felt tool, where are the tool pouches on the website? Please, cannot. So I will link all the products that I've mentioned to this live stream or on Facebook at the end of it. If you're watching this anytime in the future on YouTube, you're just going to have to find it on our website. But I will certainly do that at the end of the video. So hold fire, it will come. Sandra says, haha, glad it's not just me who makes the video mistake. I've done it countless times. No, it's me and you and lots of others by the sound of it. And I'm trying to get camera. Oh, in trying to get the camera, you miss all the interesting events. That's exactly it. I'm totally with you. Ellie says, had the video thing happen at Rangers years ago. We were supposed to be working on a film. I was playing a ghost, but the footage was all off between scenes and getting ready. I know exactly what you mean. It's usually with me, it's feet. I thought I was videoing a thunderstorm, but camera was facing wrong way, so I was videoing my arm. Oh dear, who can resist a 50% sale? I've got loads of wool and not done much with it, but tempted to get something. So Katrina says, love the tape measure too, so handy. Happy birthday, says Lily. Thank you very much, Lily. I've got a tiny tape measure similar to that one from the National Trust. Comes in handy. Well, there you go. Yeah, I love my little kid, says Katrina. I've been trying to change my password, but the email has not come through. Right. You need to email us, Maureen, info@themakers.co.uk, and we can help you with that. Oh, Sam says one of them is for him, so she's already thought of her husband. The pouches came up on the Makers site just now when I put in needle case. Oh, that's a good one, yeah, because there's needle cases in there. Can we get a sneak peek of the shell fairy? Okay, right. So I haven't. Oh yes, I have got them here. Yes, you can. I'm just going to reach to them. Oh, it makes two. It's a seashell fairy this month, next month even. And I haven't got the accessories with them, but they do come with a few accessories. Now you can sort of pose them because they have a body that's posable inside their beautiful dress. So they can sit down however you want to pose them. You can pose them in whichever way, and it makes two, and they come in these two colors. So you get that beautiful sea blue turquoise, and then almost like a coral color. Just how the different colors that we can find with shells. But this is a better photo that I can show you because that shows all of the sub boxes coming up in June. Here we go. Right, so we have got, starting on the 1st of June, new Makers boxes is the turtle. It's a fair size. I haven't got him with us because he's needed right now at our headquarters. The surprise box is oceans, and the seashell fairies you can see there with their little accessories, little starfish and other things, for you to decorate them however you wish. So hopefully that has satisfied your need to see what's happening with the fairy boxes next month. Remember, it's the last fairy box for before we take a break for a couple of months, and we've also decided to take a break with a surprise box. You will not be charged for either of those if you're already subscribing, but we've got another very exciting membership looming, the flock, the Makers Flock, and that will come to you very soon. We will let you know when you can join that and what you get when you join. It's going to be good. And I just to alleviate any of the fears that have been expressed earlier, this is not more expensive than anything that you have had as a subscription box. Quite the opposite. That's all I'm going to say. Right, let's get back to Mr. Mole, because he needs lots more details. So the next thing I'm going to do with him, I'm going to give him his little pink nose. I never forget this time when I did a mole years ago. I demoed him, and it was just so awful. I demoed him on one of the Craft TV channels. I can't remember if it was Hochanda or Creating Craft. I genuinely can't remember it. All I remember, this mole having the most ginormous big nose, and it looked really, really not right. So I've learned my lesson. I'm going really small on this nose. It just looked very, very extremely rude. So I'm going really small with this little nose, because it's just a tiny little pink tip on the end of his face. Here we go, tiny. We all thought he had a cold at the time because he had this ginormous big nose. But there is help. You can help him if his nose is too big, because you can cover some of the pink back up with the black, so that he literally just has this tiny little pink nose that you want to see, and not the whole thing pink. That didn't look too good. So and he hasn't got a cold or suffers from hay fever or anything like this. He's just a little mole that is cleaning his house and the surrounding area. You can give him a bit of an upturned nose, because that makes sort of all animals look quite cute. So felt down that area a little bit, and the nose can be, like I say, it can be a little bit on the smaller side, but also if a bit of the black comes through, that's okay too. And if you have overshot with the nose, then just take a little bit of black and just go round the edges and make it slightly smaller again. It definitely looks better, him having a slightly smaller nose. It can be quite pointy, so you can still make it, shape the nose a little bit more, but definitely don't give him a great big pink nose. It's not the best look. Right, so get that felted down a bit more. I'm still using my coarse needle, but at this point, no, actually I'm on my medium needle. So yeah, medium needle for this part. There we go. I think that's all right. That's not too big, that nose, is it? That's quite a little moly nose. So the next thing you're going to do is you are going to make the feet and the hands. Now they have got big feet there. And for this you need the pink wool. It says here, split your remaining pink wool into 1/3 and 2/3. So this is after you've done the nose, and so you have 1/3 and 2/3 roughly, I would say, and then split the larger 2/3 into 4 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. To even that out a bit there. That's it. And then basically I show you what you're going to do. So I put 3 parts to one side, and I show you on one part what you're doing. So you are folding your little pink patch into half. So you've got the folded edge here at the top, and then you want to fold the sides in. So you're making a little square shape. Now that is, according to the instructions, is slightly different from the hands to the feet. So what I suggest you do is aim for one or the other for now, and try and make 2 the same of each. Okay, so you're gonna felt this flat. Now I have a new tool that I'm trying to use. I am extremely excited by it. It's not listed on our website yet, and some of you might already be using a similar concept, but we are calling it the Maker's edging tool. And sometimes you want to make really flat, neat shapes, but every time you stab into it, because it's flat, you actually stab through the other side, and so it's kind of defeating the point a little bit. And where the heck did I put this thing now? It is somewhere here. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the big camera while I'm looking for it. So yeah, so you don't have to where is it? This is what I always do. I put things down and then I can't find them. Oh no, this is gonna be a hidden, it's gonna stay a hidden mystery if I can't find this tool, because I don't want to describe it to you. I want to show it to you. For goodness sake. Steffi, tidy your desk up. Where did I put it? Okay, I'm going to have a little think about this whilst I'm stabbing away. Where'd it go? Okay. Have I got anything else to tell you? Yes, I have. Okay, Tatty Teddy is now live to order as a pre-order. And here he is. So he is our everyday edition Tatty Teddy. And you can make him from the kit that we will be posting out, hopefully by the end of June. This is another pre-order, very similar to Shaun the Sheep, but the sooner you order, the sooner you will get it. So I know you've all waited patiently, I mean more than patiently, for this Tatty Teddy to finally come your way, and you just got to wait a tiny bit longer, but you're a little bit further down the line in getting him. And whilst I'm talking, I'm desperately trying to find this tool and it's not emerging. And I know as soon as I stop this video, I know it will turn up. That's another fact. What did I do with it? Okay, I'm just gonna continue making these feet and it will come to me. So overhead. So there's that edging tool that I can't demo now, but I will show you also that you can use our multi-tool. Well, it's the Clover multi-tool, but we do sell it. It's also in the sale, by the way. To continue making this flat piece that I'm trying to shape very, very firm. And sometimes you need to stab into the sides to continue shaping it. So it's not just about stabbing it from the top. You can also manipulate the shape by going into the sides. Now this is always a little bit tricky because you could get your fingers, you could catch your fingers, and this is where the edging tool would be very, very useful. But it still remains to be invisible. Did I bring it even to this desk? Oh, I don't know. Right, so stab, 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 stab. And maybe I need to make a special feature of it in the future when I actually find it. But I'm happy. I'm just going to keep that as one bit. And it fits the foot template perfectly. So I'm quite happy with this. So now you're going to take the second batch of wool that you've put to one side and you repeat exactly the same thing. So it needs to be slightly longer than wide. Fold it in half, fold the sides in like that. Then initially stab it down to get the shape. Stay that way. And then you can use your multi-tool to flatten it a little bit faster. The reason why it needs to be really firmly felted is because you're going to cut into it with scissors in a minute. And it really does help a lot if this has been felted down super well. You don't need a multi-tool. You can do all of this with a single needle, but it's nice to speed this up with a multi-tool. Now I should also mention that this Clover multi-tool is the only multi-tool that fits into our earth-friendly felting mats. If you've got the 7-needle felting tool, which is a non-branded similar tool like this but with 7 needles, it does not work on anything other than a brush mat. And a brush mat is just something extra that you would have to buy if you haven't got it yet. The two work ideally together. So we do sell both, but we never really promote it very much. We only want to be there for those people who bought one or the other and have been missold the product because they didn't realize that the two need to work together. So if you've got this tool, you will need a brush mat, which I haven't got handy here at the moment, so I can't show it to you. By the way, you can also stretch the wool by just pulling it a bit, felting it again, and I'm just going to make sure that they're roughly the same. Yeah, that's not bad, two the same. So now I'm going to go for the hands. Now they need to be slightly more narrow, so I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm folding the sides in a little bit more, so that they are not quite as wide, and felt that down as well. So first just get it into the shape, rough shape you wanted, and then use your multi-tool if you have one and get it stabbing quickly. Where is that edging tool? That is just so annoying. I don't know if I should I go and find it? Would you want me to do that? I might just have to get up. I'm going to show you something else now here on the, this is what we haven't talked about. Cold Tit with Agnes. Book your workshop. We've had some beautiful feedback after our Poppy Landscape workshop. So don't be alarmed. I am still here, but I'm going hunting for this. Ah, found it. Ha ha ha. Multi-tool. Got it. But I've knocked the overhead camera, so who knows what's happened now. But I've got it. I've got it. So I'm going to show you this edging tool. You probably already have seen this and you think, oh, what's all this fuss about? I absolutely love it. And we are going to call this the Maker's Edging Tool, okay? Right, ready. It is something like that. So it has, it's two acrylic squares, and you put them together, and then you put your shape inside like this, and now you stab into the shape. And you can stab exactly where you want to with your needle in the side without having to worry about your fingers, because everything's happening inside that see-through shape. And the reason why I love it so much is it is because it is see-through, so you can actually see the shape evolving, and it makes just a beautiful, really just in minutes, a very beautiful, neat shape. It doesn't have to be square. It could be if you're making ears or anything like this. So this the Maker's Edging Tool will come to you very soon as we have taken breath after our birthday. So I'm just rounding off the edges now, just to show to you that this doesn't have to be a square shape, but it felts it down so firmly because you don't have to worry about your fingers as you are holding onto it, and you can go further down here as well. There you go. It is super neat and super flat, and you can do this with the other shapes as well, but I want to get the second hand done. So slightly longer than wide, felt the sides in, still establish the shape. I'm so glad I found it. It is such a good tool. So get the shape down first, stab it from both sides, and then you can put it already into your edging tool like this. Squeeze it tight so it's not slipping out, and then just stab into it around the edges. So this is a little bit less prepared as the other one. Not make it too square. You can see exactly where you're going with it. Absolutely love it. And we have ordered these now, and like I said, they will become available to purchase from us very soon. Trust me, I never keep quiet when there's something new exciting coming out, so I will tell you about this as well. So you can see the shape just forms really naturally and quite simply, and of course you can still use your multi-tool or just your single needle. So it is a combination of the two, either in that edging edging tool, because it really does neaten the edges ever so nicely. And I love the fact that you can actually see what you're doing because it's see-through. Which is one of the reasons why we're not going to put a sticker on it to say Maker's Edging Tool. It will be just exactly as it looks here. It looks like a very simple concept. It is a very simple concept, but very effective. So you can get excited for that as much as I have already been excited. So I'm going to put this away now. This is the problem, when you put it away you can't actually see it. It sort of disappears because it's see-through. And now I'm going to demo on these tiny little scissors that they are perfectly good for cutting even thick felt like this. So I need to cut now, ideally 5 fingers. So I've got to cut in there 4 times to make, that's number 2, number 3 and number 4. Look, it cuts all the way. How brilliant is that? And then the same on here. So that's making the hand now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That comes in that tool pouch. Love it. And then you do the same with the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we need to attach this to the mole. Well, in a minute we do, but first of all we want to cover the arms with black wool. So you've still got quite a lot of black wool left, because you took that off from your head portion if you followed the instructions. And now before I cover that, I want to curve the hand in a little bit so it becomes more like that. And to do this, you just stab into the middle, and that sort of curves it inward like a cupped hand. There. So you can see it becomes a little bit more sort of together like that. And then I'm going to use strands of the black wool. I'm going to cover that up from the sort of wrist. Can you see there's my little hand? From the wrist down, to give him these little dark arms now. Now I'm using my medium needle because I don't want to stab too hard. I don't want to stab the pink wool straight out to the other side. So I'm keeping my stabs very, very shallow to literally just stab the black wool into the pink rather than stabbing it all the way out. Another way of doing this is by going along it, so that you don't even get to the other side. So there are 2 ways of how you can felt wool down without having to go very deep into it. One little hand there, and then we're going to repeat that on the other hand. So just stab into the center, or where the fingers sort of meet, so to speak, and cup that hand inward a little bit. Like that, and then take the black wool, fasten it around that part. Make sure you've got 2 arms the same length, if you can at all manage that, and then stab the black wool down just so that it tucks into the pink wool, not all the way through, otherwise you have a pink spotted mole, which would be quite funny. You can always add a little bit more black over the edge, obviously, but still over the surface, but still get that felted down. You can hear that it's not quite as a stabby noise doing this. And then you've got 2 arms. So now we need to attach them. Oh no, you've already got arms, nearly got the old mole. So to attach them, if you have sort of a concept of a thumb that's different from the rest of the hand, and they look out of proportion, but trust me, they do have totally out of proportion hands moles. So put it at a slight angle and get the end here tucked away first, so that you almost have a bit of a shoulder happening here, and stab into the black all the way. This time you can go all the way. It doesn't matter if the pink comes out the other side, because it's going straight into the mole's side. And that will fasten the hand on there, like that. And then you repeat that on the other side. So there. So get that end, especially if there's a bit of pink poking out, get that felted down. If you have pink still showing, there is nothing stopping you using a little bit of black to cover up that area. So don't worry if a bit of pink is showing at the end of the arm. Get that felted down there. And he's got 2 arms, so now he needs his feet. Now we need to put him upside down onto his head, and you're going to probably take some of these pink wispy bits off. So he has going to have 2 ginormous big feet. If they are too big to your for your liking, I'm just going to cut this one toe a bit shorter, or you can give him 4 toes instead of 5. As long as you felted the wool quite well, this is what it will look the right way round. So they need to just poke out the little toes from underneath him. Fasten them down initially, just do 1 at a time. Don't worry that it looks pink underneath, because we're going to cover that up in a minute. Just get 1 set felted down, so when you turn it over, he looks like his little toes are just poking out. And then do this on the other side, make sure that they are symmetrical. Felt that down as well. I've run this as a workshop now several times, and it's so much fun seeing all these happy little moles becoming little characters and having personalities. I always say it is dangerous when you start talking to your creations. I talk to them all the time. So there we go. So from here now, you can see that the toes are absolutely fine. We just need to sort out the underneath. So we want to make that brown again, or dark, I don't know, brown, we call it brown black. So just cover the underneath up and make sure that you keep it flat so that he doesn't fall over when he's standing on his base. So just get that felted down, and I'm using the opportunity to bulk him up a little bit around his bottom as well, which you can do. Oh, there's so much, you can do so much felting still. I'm definitely cutting corners here as usual. So there's Mr. Mole. He is at the moment terribly blind. Hasn't even got eyes. His little toes are poking out, his little pink toes. He's got his arms on, he's got his little pink nose. And now what we need to do is we need to give him eyes, which is going to be really hard for you to see. But I have actually added a step into this so that we can see his eyes a bit better. And you need tiny amounts of pink for this. This is even too much, just really tiny amounts, and just it looks a little bit like he's been up cleaning a lot, so that he's got slightly pink eyes, but it's just so that we can see the eye when it actually goes in there. So do this on both sides. You really need the smallest amount of pink, because as soon as you felt it, it condenses into a much stronger colored patch, and it can be sort of quite wispy. So this is where the eyes are going, just so that you can see. And if you look at this Mr. Mole, his little pink areas are even more dainty, but I've emphasized them a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing next. So I've got my little eyes resting on this magnetic needle case, and I'm going to take one out, and I'm going to poke a hole into the center of the pink patch with my felting needle. If you haven't all used that, by all means, put the eye in there. So he's got a little black eye in there now. Then I repeat that on the other side. Like I say, if you haven't all used an awl, we do have quite good awls at the moment, which are in the sale, and our girls in the office are going to be so busy tomorrow. I know they will be. I've seen the orders coming through, and it's lovely. It's lovely to be able to sometimes to just do something like that, to give a little bit back. Now typically what happens is when you work on one part of your mole, you will want to work on another part again. I feel that his nose or his snout is a little bit too long, so I'm going to felt this down now a bit more. And that is the beauty about needle felting, that you can decide where things need to still be changed. So I've made that a little bit more squat. He actually looks a little bit more juvenile juvenile now. Maybe we shouldn't give him a mop in the bucket. We don't want more child labor, do we? So I'm going to now fasten the eyes in by using a little bit of glue. Where is my glue? Oh dear. Okay, I don't think my glue bottle is here at this end of the table. Why didn't I think of that? Silly me. Anyway, what you do is you have a little bit of glue that you, on the glue bottle with a nozzle, you go behind the eye and just squirt a dab of glue there, and then the eye will stay in nice and secure. Oh, look at him, little Molly. Hello, little chap. You want some glasses? Can see better. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the glasses now. Just showing him to you here as well. There he is. Little sniffly Molly. Ready to dig and ready to do a bit of spring cleaning. Let's have a look in the chat. Let's see, check in and see who is saying what. Oh, Colette, you're here. Yay. I must admit, it's a bit scary, but only because it's opposite way to how we felt. Okay, so I have no idea what you're talking about. So this is... Oh, I see. We're talking about the reverse needle. So the design after the turtle is going to use a reverse needle, which of course is the koala. Oh. Okay, so there is a reverse needle is coming into the box, which we will probably put in the box, no doubt. Okay, catching up. I think I've lost too much of the chat. So, is the birthday code single use only? It is. Yes, single use only is the birthday code. Once you've used it once, you can't use it again. That's it. One use per customer. And it's also, you can only use the code on its own, not with another coding combination. So yes, it is single use only. I think it says it somewhere on the messages and on the small print. It says it on the small print. Yeah, we're not doing this to catch you out, but it is single use only. Right, I'm going to do some mole glasses now. I think at some point I was doing mole glasses because I was showing it in a video tutorial, which by the way is still on YouTube. And I got so carried away making these glasses, I really enjoyed it. I made loads. So for years we had extra mole glasses everywhere. So whenever there was a workshop, I said, you don't need to do your mole glasses. I've got a spare set for you. Now I'm trying to follow the instructions. So you have got your piece of wire here. Now, because your moles might be different sizes, you might have to do different size glasses. But I'm trying, these will be glasses that should be the same. So 8.5 centimeters from one end of the wire, which is where from here to there, that's 8.5 centimeters. I've just measured that. And then you're going to put your pencil, you need a pencil, in there, and then the longer wire you wrap around the 8.5, away from the 8.5 centimeters. So this is still the 8.5 centimeters. It stays there, and this has become one of the lenses of the glasses. Okay, so now you're turning it round and you're measuring again 8.5 centimeters from that end, which I'm doing now on my there. And then from there towards the other lenses, you're going to wrap the wire around your pencil again. So this is going to be the next lens next to the first lens. So they're not actually very far apart. There. So now you've got two lenses next to each other. Can you see that? With hopefully similar length. Now there's a word for it. What are they called again? I had to look it up the other day because I just couldn't remember what they were called. Anyway, this is your little set of glasses now, and all you need to do is bend these arms in so that they can now sit on Mole's nose. Now the reason why these arms, I think they're called arms, it's not quite 8.5 centimeters anymore, but it doesn't really matter. The reason why they're long is because you're meant to poke them into the side of the mole's head, like that. So they come out at the other end. And you can fasten them on, so position them on his head first, so you can see they've come out here. You position them onto his nose, and then you're going to use, well, I want to say pliers, but if you don't have pliers, just use scissors, maybe not your best scissors, and you just snip the end of the wire off, like that. So that you know that they're in Mr. Mole's head here now, these bits, and that is the place where you dab a little bit of glue onto it. And I'm going to get up and get a dab of glue now, because I want his glasses to be in firmly while I'm preparing his apron. So just bear with me, I am still here. I just got to get some glue. When you're looking for glue, why is it never here? I know I've got lots of glue. Steffi, tidy your workplace up, for goodness sake, woman. Right, and I'm going to get some Sharpie pencils as well, because that is what I have used for decorating his little apron, and I will show you that as well, how that is done. So you can needle felt onto the felt piece for his apron, or you can just use Sharpie pens, as I said I have done, to decorate the apron to your liking. I've got the glue. Here's the glue, and here are my Sharpie pens. They're going here for now. I just got to sit down, sorry. Okay, dab of glue where the glasses are entering the head. Now if you use this stick it glue pen, it will dry completely clear. Look at his eyes, they're not even in the same place. Add a dab of glue behind the eyes, which I haven't done yet. There. And that may look a little bit weird at the moment, but I'm just going to put him to one side because that can all dry. Now all you need to do is your little felt piece here, you just need to cut it out using the template, which is here, to turn it into a little white shape like that. Okay, that's all you need to do, like that. And now you can color it in. If you want to needle felt onto it, feel free, but if you don't want to, then you can color it in. Let's say you can do spots like I've done here. You can do, there's actually something on the other side already. You can do flowers like I've done there. You can do a flower meadow. Just color it in, just draw on it, and just make a few flowers here and there. Lots of poppies out at the moment. Beautiful. Beautiful poppies. Talking of which, that reminds me, we are going to the BBC Gardeners World show for the first time in mid-June. So if you are going up to the NEC to the Gardeners World show in the UK, then do come and see us, because we will be there for the very first time. And recently they shared our lovely little blue tit, which by the way is the live stream next week, making a blue tit from our blue tit kit, which by the way is also in the sale, I'm not saying. Right, I've just decorated this apron really quickly. Now you can now use a needle and thread, but I wanted to show you another trick. You know me, I cut corners whenever I can. Now this paper covered wire, which we sell, which is the thinnest we have, which is actually this is not even it. Is that the thinnest? Well, it's not the thinnest we have. I was more thinking of the thinner one, but I've grabbed the wrong one, but this will do. This is the 26 gauge. We have got one that's I think 32. In any case, if you don't want to use needle and thread, you can just use, it's actually a little bit too thick, should really, well, I'll use it anyway. I've used it on this mole, and I used it just to tie his apron on. It doesn't have to be needle and thread. It's perfect fine with a thin wire, and I'm going to get it now. Might as well do the job properly. So I've grabbed the wrong one. Apologies for that. I'm going to get the right one now, which is the really super thin, which is the 32. Wandering around here, leaving you, abandoning you. Yeah, this is the right one. This is the 32 gauge, and it is really thin. It's still pliable like a wire, but it's definitely a lot thinner. And what I've done is I've just poked a hole into the top, put this through, poked another hole here with my felting needle. I am so lazy, honestly. You can use a wire and thread if you want. Put that through. I just don't like needle and thread very much. I do use it if I have to, but when I'm... Oh, right, try that again. By the way, this is nothing to do with the wire. This is all to do with my eyes. Right, here we go. So, pull this so that it goes all the way through. That will fit him, yeah. There. And then do the same on this side, on the bottom. Sorry, I've got a double-sided apron because I decided to make this color in on the other side as well. Put that through. So now with this one, you actually twist it shut here, but you make a hole in here already. Ready? So then you need your Mr. Mole. Fit his apron around the top first. You can even tie it if you want. That wire is so soft. Or you can just twist it. Don't have to tie anything. There. Glasses stay in. Now to go around his waist, because you've secured it at one end, come around the other side and then just poke it through the hole that you made, which I can't see. I know you're there. Might have to make another one. Let's make another one in that direction. Oh no, there it is. Put the wire through and then cut that and just twist it around a couple of times. There, that's going nowhere. And he's got a nice apron on. It's all secure. And you don't need to do any sewing, no thread or needle required. Just a little bit of paper thin, well, it's really, really thin wire. And finally, bucket and mop. Where are you? Oh, there they are. So what I've done is, so that he can hold onto his mop well, I've actually bent his fingers down a bit and felted them shut. Like that. So just bend his fingers round and felt them down so that the hand is actually closed. There. Can you, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So it looks like he's holding onto his mop there. And then the same with the bucket. You have to get his little sausage fingers in there first. Make sure that he holds onto that bucket and then just felt down the fingers so that he doesn't drop his bucket. And obviously you can keep the thumb sticking up. Doesn't have to be felted very solidly. Just enough so that it looks like he's holding onto his bucket, he's holding onto his mop, he's ready to start his work, and that completes Mr. Mole from beginning to end, including glasses. He's got his little nose. The glue is still drying, but it will dry completely like it has here. And now we've got 1, 2, 3 Mr. Moles, all like a real big cleaning, what's the word? Cleaning gang, getting ready to attempt all the cleaning together, because chores always work better when you're doing it with friends. So that's completes the Mr. Mole, Busy Mr. Mole tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry I've overrun a little bit. I just want to double check in the chat. You are all so busy chatting. You just chat away, guys. I love it. Steffi, did I hear you just say 1 transaction per person, please, for the sale items? Yes, yes, yes. 1 use per customer of the code only. But we are not stopping you buying everything in 1 transaction. So the code for the birthday is WEARE8, and that is spelled Oh, I'm just gonna spell it out now. So you, I've got a pad here. It's a very green pad, and this will not work, obviously, when you are after 48 hours from today, which is Thursday at 5 p.m., which is the 1st of June. The code will expire. But this is what you need to put into the checkout box. Into the discount box at the checkout. It's literally the step before you pay, so don't panic that you haven't used it yet. Just keep going as far as you can before you get to the discount box. And this is the code. So it's capital W E, and then all in one. Don't put any spaces in there. We are 8. That's the code. We are 8. Okay, because we are 8 years old. June 2023. We are 8 years old. Yay! 2 years, and then we have a really big birthday. And did you know, can anyone tell me what the 8th birthday, what anniversary that is? Now that might give you a slight clue to our giveaway that's coming up, but I'm not going to say anymore because we're not done with our discount code. That's just the beginning of our celebrations. We are going to make a proper feast of it. So I think that's all I've got to say. So please do, somebody could just put that. Oh yes, here we are. Thank you, Gina, for putting that into the chat. We are 8. Happy birthday to you. Well done, Steffi. Thank you, Diane. Happy birthday, Steffi. Think I've known you for 7 of those years. Wow, you've been there nearly from the very beginning. It feels like I've known you forever, Jane. Creativeness isn't cause for neatness. No, I know. I'm always messy. Oh, so many people still commenting. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give us the thumbs up, like the page, tell your friends. We're going to put this onto YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, give us the thumbs up, and get in touch if we can help you in any way or form. Remember, we have got a group called Everyone a Maker on Facebook that is a place where you can share your makers makes. You can ask questions. It's even a place where you can sell some of your unwanted maker stuff. Why would they be unwanted? Anyway, that's another topic. So take care, everybody. Sending you lots of love. And oh, Tatty Teddy, do you want to have a last little look? Where have I put him now? There. Okay, I've actually made 2, so you can. It's a double whammy, our Tatty Teddy. And you say you can't make 2 the same. I don't think I did a bad job on this one at all. So Tatty Teddy is excluded from the discount, but you actually, he's so lovely. You want to pay the full price, don't you? Yeah, get your orders in for pre-order. Remember, don't put Tatty Teddy into your checkout with the discount code items. With pre-orders, you can only put that one item into the checkout. So don't get tempted to think, oh, I get a Tatty Teddy and I get this and this and this and this. Tatty Teddy is an order on its own, but you can't use the discount code, so you're not going to waste the discount code. You're all safe. It's all good. Right, I shut up now and I'll leave you to it, and hope you have a lovely evening. Rest of the evening. Bye.